been a long day.
Yep, and we're
We're
finally here.
we're at the end. We have both our world competitors playing it out. They're just playing for the title of Oceanic Champion. They're playing for prizes. They're just playing a game of fun, really. They both know each other. They're both from Melbourne. They're both friends, and there is no stress. They're not playing to win to get eliminated from the tournament. They're just playing for
This
fun
is
now.
literally the most relaxing game of the whole event for both of these players, but we're kind of hoping it's a quick one. One way or the other.
Yeah,
But either way,
it is a Salamangreat mirror match.
very unexpected. I did not suspect this to happen at the start of the day.
Mm.
Once we saw the top cut brackets, it kind of seemed like it might turn out that way, but yeah, like they managed to overcome all the other decks, and here we are at the end with a Salamangreat mirror match.
We have
I think we talked about both of these players earlier, the way they've built their decks,
Yeah.
and Onor's deck is very much built for the mirror. He main decks the artifact engine and super polymerization.
and with newcomer Charles Liu, he's built his deck just to have a great representation across the field. He's got Ghost Ogres, he's got nothing too special. He's not even meaning super polymerization. So that I do believe this gives Honor the edge.
Definitely game one, because post side, I think Charles Liu also has super polymerization in his side deck.
Oh, Charles rolls a one, so Honor's gonna take the first going the play.
So
Yeah.
let's see what he can do here. I've definitely seen a Veiler. Oh,
Ooh,
Charles Liu opens Cosmic and Spinny.
Cosmic,
Two
Spinny,
Spinnies.
Spinny, Phantasmic, because that's not even that bad of a hand.
That's
going
a good
second.
hand.
Yeah, because you can Cosmic back row.
No, but that's an insane hand, so...
That's a Sanctum though. Sanctum, Vela, Buffalo, Gazelle,
Yeah,
and
this is
Circle.
exactly what Ono would want to see.
Honor has never lost a feature match.
So
Wow.
they're shaking hands again, even. Reckon they'll shake hands after every play?
Oh.
No. But
Possibly. I mean,
see if he can do this. So he's going to resolve the Buffalo for Spinny and then summon Gazelle.
what I really like is honorable play. I like both players walking away from a game feeling happy, feeling that they learned something, that they took something away, win or lose.
Oh, the Phantasme coming straight down for Charles, which indicates he probably needs to draw into an interaction. And
He
he
drew an
does.
Ash
He
Blossom.
draws the Ash. That's exactly what you want Phantasme doing.
Can't see what he put back, but
It's probably the... he probably keep the Cosmic. It's probably the second Spinny.
yeah,
He did have two.
likely to be that.
So Ono resolving the first effect of Banelings, and then he'll resolve his Flame Buffalo, which we've seen be very, very impactful for him.
Yeah,
The only thing that could ruin this right now is if he draws the Scythe off Buffalo.
he's got Spinny, draws 2 cards. Hopefully he doesn't draw into that Scythe.
It's the only thing that could ruin this end.
And then he
So
triggers.
Gazelle effect, and then Charles has taken him back to slow him down a bit, because he's going to Ash Blossom the effect of Gazelle to send.
Mm.
And now the Spinny will come back. So pretty basic stuff here for Onor, playing his Salamangreat strategy. Resolving the Stelio, probably get Jaguar. So obviously having Sanctum means he'll just be able to end Charles's turn straight away, and probably will chain it to the Cosmic Cyclone if Charles chooses to use that straight away.
Definitely. So this is the Salamangreat play we've been seeing all day.
So hopefully they can get a field center at some point, because the zones could get a bit messy, but obviously being such a relaxed game, it doesn't matter as much. So the Stelio comes down, he's using the field spell to relink the Sunlight Wolf. Oh, look at the beautiful judges putting down the field center right on cue. So that makes it much easier.
He's gonna.
So he relinks to get the circle back, putting back the Mirage, the Sunlight Wolf that he used to bring back Jaguar to get another card back. He has just got infinite cards.
But
He
I
got
don't
back,
think.
I like the strategy that he's using to keep getting back the Flame Buffalo.
Yeah,
So he keeps drawing into his power cards. We saw it last round in the top 4 against Bowden. He just drew into Sanctum, then drew into Super Poly, then he just won the game.
and he's linked in. He's hard linked into another Sunlight Wolf. Instead of
So
using,
that probably indicates there might even be a Rage set.
but he didn't use the effect of Sanctuary, did he?
He did. And then he put the Wolf back with
Oh, right,
Jaguar,
right.
and then he relinked back again. So having Phantasma on the field puts him in not a bad position, and he also has that Cosmic Cyclone, so once he can force through a couple of the spells and traps, he may be able to resolve that Cosmic Cyclone for more value. The one downside is that Ono, of course, has the Sanctum, the
He has a
Artifact
Veiler
Sanctum,
in hand.
and the Effect Veiler.
Ooh, it's very good. And for Honor.
The Veiler is actually potentially can be negated by the Phantasme anyway.
Mm.
So interesting choice here. Charles going for the Foxy, which means he probably has Gazelle already.
I think he just wants to go through his
He
deck
does.
and as quick as possible to get whatever else he might need.
So he's triggering the Gazelle and discarded probably the Spinny for Signet Mining. And I think at this point, Honor might think about activating Sanctum or Rage if he has it set.
Excuse me, sorry about that.
So the effect failure comes down, trying to force the Phantasma to use its effect, which it probably will.
What would you discard?
Depends. He has Foxy there he can bring back.
Oh, he chose. Did he not?
So here comes the Sanctum. So the Foul getting changed. There's a lot of monsters on the board for Charles, but unfortunately he will not be able to access his extra deck anymore.
But he's able to just attack over all of Honor's monsters, right?
Only the Phantasma can get over a monster at this point.
I mean,
you can attempt to crash
the
Foul with the Wolf, but there's a Balinx in the grave for Honor. There's a Rage set. This is just going to get really hard.
He's checking through his opponent's graveyard, seeing what options he might have. He has the Cyclone, which he doesn't want to use yet because if he hits the Rage, it will just get activated. The Roar, sorry.
That's true, but I don't know if he has a Roar. One of those spells and traps is probably the Circle that he added back off Sunlight Wolf, and the other one is something he drew off Buffalo that I'm not 100% sure on.
Yeah, so and if he hits the Circle just be activated, so he wants to get maximum value of that.
I think he might save the Cosmic if he can. If he can try to force the rest of the back row, he can probably use it in Honor's end phase to force out any more threats.
Charles' plan of action here is he just try to clear as much as he can.
You just swing. I don't know if he's obviously going to use Balinx to protect the Sunlight Wolf, and he's just going to have a lot of monsters on the field, I guess. I think if Honor had Rage, he'd probably wait for the end phase regardless.
I think he's going to crash into the Sunlight Wolf and Gab.
This has to be Rage then. Which just doesn't have it. So, here's the Sunlight Wolf.
But leaving the Mirage Stallion on the field is
it's a hard choice because he couldn't deal with the Mirage Stallion because Foul wasn't big enough to get over it. So he just had to just destroy the Wolf. It was the the Wolf was his only option. So Honor in a commanding position right now. Searching out the Mole. We have seen this quite a bit on Feature Match, especially from the Melbourne players.
Unfortunately, we've never seen it actually being used. We've just seen it being sent to the graveyard.
Ashoka yesterday did resolve its effect to draw 2. He just happened to draw 2 blanks.
Yeah. So Honor's just getting the Mole to hand so he can discard it with Buffalo. He's got his plan worked out.
Every little play just works into the next one. I think that was a trap.
I think that's draw phase Salamangreat Circle. Display around any potential draw on Lockbird.
There actually is one other way to recur the Scythe.
What is?
It's very elaborate, but you can Mirage Stallion, bounce it back to your hand, then Phantasma head back to your deck.
Mirage Stallion bounce your own monsters.
Yes.
That is very cool.
You can also just bounce the Scythe back to hand and then kill it with, destroy it with Rage as well.
That is also really
maybe
cool.
There is a way to recur it.
But will Honor think like that? Maybe because he thinks he's in the finals that he can just call for some wacky play.
Well, it can work out.
Yeah.
They could probably win in the game. So he's going to use this Buffalo to draw for more cards.
Ailing's choosing which zone he wants to put it in.
So he's just thinking here.
He's choosing to put it over Scythe.
The slowest summon of a Balinx I've ever seen.
Well, ever since Master Rule 4, positioning has been very important.
It is true. We saw that in one of the games earlier. I think Charles's top 8 match, possibly, against Kodai, where every zone mattered because there was multiple impermanents and multiple cards being set.
Now Gazelle coming out.
So Charles just trying to watch here just to see what he can do next. Honor with many options. He can probably send Rage or Roar here. He's going to send Rage.
Man, I think Honor's just opened really well every time we've had him on stream. We're just as good
where he's Lucky Charm for sure. 100%.
And now he's using Mirage Stallion to summon.
Does he have Falco Engrave already, or can you just get it now? He's going to go for a Foxy instead. So many options when you get to this point. Just the Artifact Engine, just clearly maining it was the right choice for him today.
Well, I mean, if you're prepared for the bulk of the field and you pair into the bulk of the field, it's going to work out, right? And I don't think Scythe is particularly bad against any deck, right?
Wow, so he's using Foul's Effect to tribute the Fox, and then the Cosmic Cyclone is chained to banish the Salamangreat Sanctuary for the rest of the game. Could that keep Charles in this one?
Perhaps.
I would totally bounce that Scythe back to my hand.
He's link summoning. I think he's going to summon a Heater,
He's going to go Heater. He's going to summon back a level 4. He's going to make a Dweller.
This is the first time we've seen it on stream, I believe.
We may have seen it earlier.
Gonna summon Fowl from the graveyard. That's a lot of monsters on Honest Field. He's got 5 monsters already. Go for a 6th.
There's so many monsters. I would have still loved to see him put that scythe back in his hand. Well, I believe he can keep his own cards because he kind of just gave his whole.
So when you use Heater and you take their guy and you know that one's meant to go into one graveyard, you just kind of slip there.
So he's tried to bounce the Phantasme and Charles decides that it's too valuable on the field to get rid of. Ooh, what's Honor going for here? Oh, now he can give his card back.
Yeah. This is awkward.
It's just they're just enjoying themselves, having a good laugh.
Gonna be able to turn.
So he's gonna target the Spinny and make it small, I guess.
Why is he making a small monster smaller? Some Jack Jaguar from the graveyard.
Still gonna end on Dweller.
Maybe it's a super polymerization as well.
Oh, not again. He does.
Oh, he does, and that is the first game. That was just bad etiquette,
We should have known. We should have known.
Uh-huh.
But look at that. Both players in good spirits, enjoying this, enjoying that one there. The Super Poly just proving it's just one of the most powerful cards in this format. And obviously, we saw all of Onor's main deck cards there for the mirror match coming in there. Super Poly and Sanctum, the same as his last round against Bowden.
So I believe Charles would be choosing to go first this match. He's going to bring in his own super polymerization now. He might bring in Imperial Order. That could be a play, right?
Not impossible. The unfortunate thing with Imperial Order is that it can't change to Super Poly, so it doesn't really help you anyway.
Anti-Spell Fragrance might also be worth playing.
That could be interesting.
You can slow your opponent
I think
down.
Crackdown's definitely good in the mirror match. You take their normal summon and just can end their turn.
Definitely.
Yeah, what are the other options there? So Super Poly definitely should be coming in. But Onor going second has no material Gamma. So I think that'll be the best possible options. He could consider the Cosmic Cyclone to do similar things where he takes out the spells and traps and works through them. But I think, again, in this situation, just that we might decide the normal and enjoy himself for the finals.
So what do you think about this weekend?
I think it worked out really well. Pretty much all the decks we thought would do well ended up doing well. Obviously we had a lot of great players do have great results over the course of the event. And I like the fact that we're sending off 2 new players to Worlds.
Yeah, and we see the same faces topping. That shows that if you practice and play a lot, you'll be really good at the game, and your results will be really consistent.
Consistency is definitely the most important part.
I had a lot of fun this weekend.
Oh, I very much enjoyed it. Great venue here in Brisbane, as always.
A lot of great matches that we've seen. A lot of upsets as well.
Yeah, there was. Yeah. Like Bowden going down to Onor once again. I think he just wants to get rid of that curse. I think if he ever versus Onor again, he will not want it on feature match. Apparently they versed earlier today and Bowden actually won that match, so Onor getting revenge on feature. Yes, hopefully we're almost ready for game 2. I assume that Charles will want to be on the play. Cannot believe he... I'm having a laugh because Onor Giza wrote Super Polymerization on his deck list 3 different times and kept crossing it out because he cannot spell.
Either that or he just couldn't make up his mind.
I don't know. He either changed his mind 3 times without meaning it or he just can't spell. I think he can't spell. So we shall see. I might ask him about it in the interviews later. So hopefully we're almost ready for game 2. Yeah, everyone's ready. They're signing up. The gentleman handshake once again.
Honor has 2 Veilers.
I think he drew Scythe this time.
Sanctum, Scythe, and Cyanide Mining.
That hand is not great.
Not awful. It's not great.
I think he would have preferred to see Phantasme, but that hand is really
Charles,
good.
On the other hand, man, that is
that's a hand.
But if you summon the debug and he double Veilers through your Call by the Grave, that's gonna hurt a lot.
It may be pass. Unless he has Spinny to be able to play through.
The Veiler. Gonna Call by the Grave, but he's gonna have another Veiler.
It's actually fine.
I have been told that Bowden is up 1 game in the 3rd/4th playoff against Yuri Milenkov.
So activating the Silent Mining here to add Gazelle by... Actually, I think he already has Gazelle. Interesting. So there's just searching what he wants now. He's already got Gazelle.
He's adding the Spinny now, and yeah, this should be fine.
Trigger Gazelle now because the Foxy went to grave. Once he gets to the field spell, he can bring the Fox back, so he should be able to get to a pretty good board. But once again, the effect failure
Maybe call by the
stops
grave.
him in his tracks. But the call by the grave there, perfect timing to be able to negate the effect failures effects and resolve the Gazelle.
What do you think he'll send?
I think he'll send Raw.
Very good.
Like, Ernal's now used 2 cards, and he's going to end on Dweller.
And little does Charles know, on his hand has a Siphon.
He can't activate that. Yeah. Oh, he can do that, sorry.
Yeah.
I thought he was activating Foxy's effect. I think it might have been better here to use Gazelle to make a Balinx.
Or use the debug to make a Bailings
Uh,
first, and then
I reckon leave the debug because it's level 4, so it gives you automatic access to
Oh,
a
yeah.
Dweller. So if you turned the Gazelle into Balinx to get the field spell, and then discarded Spinny for Fox, he could still use the Spinny to make a Stelio to get the Jaguar.
definitely.
Do this exact play, but with the Balinx in hand on
Mhm.
field, so he can make a Dweller with the debug.
I believe he has no more cards in hand, right?
Yeah, he's committed his whole hand to the board, but he's going to have a negate and hopefully a Dweller.
He's again doing the backwards play.
So he can still do it Dweller, but this way he won't have the field spell.
Mm.
Whereas if he had have started with Gazelle, I believe he still could have got there.
So Sunlight Wolf will go add the Gazelle back to hand. Once you get the engine going, it just does not stop.
Oh yeah, I think he's realized at this point now that he has to make a decision between getting the Raw back or making a Dweller.
They're both very valid, right? I think Dweller might just, on average, be a little bit better.
I think just so he can get the field spell, he might have to go the Raw though, even though the Dweller probably is the correct play.
He does go for the Raw.
It just meant that he could have linked off with a debug instead if this was the line he decided to use. But once again, we're in the finals now. They're already going to Worlds. He can just relax and just play however he likes.
Mm.
Still not a bad position. He's gonna have the Raw.
Maybe he just left the debug as an option. Like, it just doesn't really matter too much, right?
Yeah,
And he just gives himself more time to think about what he wants to do.
that's true. Now he can get the Raw back. So he's gonna have.
Raw, Gazelle, Field Spell.
I don't know why he activated the field spell there when the wolf was already relinked, but I guess he just wants to have it on the board. So Ono starting with 4 cards, one of them being a Scythe,
He doesn't draw. He had the mining though, right?
which is going to be broad for sure. So it discards the Sanctum, which is actually pretty clever. That makes Charles think that there's another one
Ooh.
there.
He's allowing it. Strange. Because it wasn't a 5 monsters card. Maybe he just wants to negate the Gazelle.
Yeah, maybe he just wants to make sure there's no chance he could negate that, then Ono can just summon Gazelle and keep playing through.
I think he's
He
normal.
he did commit pretty hard to the board, so Ono just decides to go to game 3.
He drew Ash Blossom for turn.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. So quickly back.
And now they are both 1 win away from being the Oceanic champion.
Glad we're going to game 3.
Yeah. And they have plenty of time.
Yeah.
Mm.
So
yeah, anyway.
I think Ono will go first, and
yeah,
it'll be interesting how they open.
we've discussed this 100
Yeah.
times before.
I don't think we need to talk about the decks anymore.
So speaking of this format, Salamangreat showing its power. I think this.
I think it's just showing not even the power of Salamangreat, more the fact that a deck that can play good engine cards and good hand trap accounts, they can do the same thing for multiple rounds, is
Yep.
just a really good choice for an event like this.
Definitely.
Like,
And,
we've obviously seen the Thunder Dragon deck make it as far, and also even Alter Guys making it very far into the event. But at the end of the day, the last deck standing with a consistent engine deck with the hand traps. Same as last year, actually, with Trickster Sky Striker. It's a very similar type of deck.
Very similar. A lot of people draw direct comparisons to it as well.
Yeah.
Salamangreat, I think is also very good for the game because it's relatively cheap. A lot of players can just pick up 3 structure decks and
you're 3 structure decks, 3 Sunlight Wolves away, and you can just play the
Yeah,
deck. Well, I
Sunlight
guess a
Wolf-
Sunlight Chimera and stuff, but
and Signet Mining, I guess, is the only expensive card that you'll probably
Phantasme, if you want to play the full deck.
definitely. But I think in the grand scheme of things, it's relatively cheap compared to like say Thunder Dragon deck.
Oh, of course, yeah. The dangers themselves are like way
So-
harder to get than just buying 3 structure decks.
So how do you feel about just very top tier meta decks being accessible to everybody?
I think that makes it good for the game. Like, I think the biggest thing that I saw over Nationals and Oceanics when we did the breakdowns was there was no people just playing like a bunch of structure decks. They all were able to afford and like access like as many of the good decks as they could.
Yeah.
And we had a really good mix of other decks that weren't in those best 4 decks as well.
Yeah, I think it does promote play because now cost isn't as much of a barrier to entry.
Like, I think we actually broke our records for Brisbane Nationals and also an Oceanic event. So
Definitely.
it just shows that the game is just still growing and they're
Yeah.
finding new ways to get everyone to be
Yeah.
able to play the game.
Yeah, definitely things I want to see more of in the future. I think this event was ran pretty well. We had VIP seating for previous Oceanic champions.
That was very cool. I think they all enjoyed that.
Yep.
Ryan
Uh,
Slot, unfortunately, coming in 17th once again. But
Some people did feel intimidated that they were playing in that VIP area
the
because
opponents of the
yeah,
top 8. Oh,
like
okay, cool.
they thought they were going to like a lion's den or something.
It seemed that way. The way it was set up, I know we don't have pitches, but it
Mhm.
was like a nice roped off with velvet roped area around the front, like all 8 players in the middle. So whenever you walk in there, you're like, oh, is this a coliseum?
Mm.
Like, do I
Yeah.
have to deal with it? Like, first thing you time, you walk up, you see Bowden Temnik and Jono, and they're all sitting there,
Yeah.
and you're like, what
Maybe
do we
there's a
do?
way we can do it so that it feels a lot less intimidating. It feels more welcoming. It feels more relaxed. We'll
Oh.
see what we can do. We're always taking suggestions
Of
to
course.
improve.
So going into game 3, Ono will probably be going first.
And
Let's see if he can open that segment. We're looking at Charles's hand. He's got Crackdown, Signet Mining, Foxy, Call by the Grave, and Pancratop. So it's quite a good going second hand, actually.
yeah,
Crackdown's an interesting choice.
Honest
And in
hand
Honest
is-
hand, he's got Phantasme, unfortunately the Sanctuary, 2 Foxies, and a Veiler.
he's gonna need to get really lucky.
That Fox is going to have to hit, because otherwise he may not be doing much for the rest of this turn. But there is a really high chance this will hit Circle or Gazelle, and there it
Oh.
is. Yep, that even
Well, that
Charles.
looks like he was gonna extend the handshake.
Ooh, was that what was happening there?
Oh,
Or
he's
was he
like-
just pointing out what happened?
Uh,
So we've also been told that Bowden Temnik won his 3rd versus 4th match, so he will finish in 3rd place.
I don't think there's much prize difference between 3rd and 4th, but title he got bronze.
Bronze is good.
Anyway, Charles looks like he was just saying, "Oh, are you serious?"
Yeah, but I'm sure that over the course of the weekend, Charles has also done this to many people. So,
It's the same as area 0 engage, right?
oh
We've seen
man,
it.
we saw that 5 out of 6,
Yeah,
5 out of 6 times. It just always happens.
crazy.
Whenever I verse Sky Striker, I'm like, are you activating your Area 0 effect to add 1 copy of Sky Striker Engage from deck to hand? And often they do.
They're like, "Nah, I've already got it. I'm just adding the multi-roll now."
So Gazelle will resolve here to get the raw.
Unfortunately, this is not full combo, is it?
It won't be both. It'll just be the counter trap. But he also
Yeah.
has Phantasme Veiler, so it's not a bad situation to be in.
And another Foxy.
That is true.
Sanctuary, it's unfortunate you draw Sanctuary because most of the time you're getting it anyway, so anytime you draw, you're like just missing out on one potential card.
It's true. So he has the raw, Phantasme Veiler, and I think
The counter trap.
Foxy for next turn. So that's not bad. That's pretty much as standard as you want to get without
Yeah.
going full combo.
He drew
That a Veiler,
An
very
ultimate rare
ultimate rare Veiler.
it's a little bit too late, but
The unfortunate thing for Charles here is if he called by the Graves, the effect Veiler for Ono, he'll turn his own Veiler off
Yeah.
for the next. Oh, but the Pancratop's hitting the field.
that is really good for Charles.
That's a big dinosaur boy, that's for sure.
And summon Foxy, maybe he can replicate on a success.
Oh, if he doesn't, he'll be making a mention about it, that's for sure. The Crackdown's an interesting card here.
I think it's strong enough to keep him in the game.
Yeah, going second, if he can manage to break half this board down and have a Crackdown for next turn, he could just end the turn.
Do you think he wants the mining or summon the Foxy?
I think that's what he's deciding. It's a really tough choice because if you Fox and miss, he can still mining, but the cards that he has to discard are very valuable to him
he's going
surviving the
for
next
it.
turn.
He's taking the gamble.
I think Ono's just going to negate this. I think he knows that.
Oh,
Fortunately, on Sun and Mining is just not going to...
it's not going to be as good as it could have been.
Well,
Hey.
no, he can't even trigger Gazelle now.
Maybe he should have used Pancratops to destroy the set raw.
Oh, that's also possible. He could have swung at the Wolf to force the Balinks and then destroyed the face down.
What he's doing now, he attacks over, Balinks will protect it, and he will take 800 points of damage off the top of my head.
Yes.
What do we have here? He's going to set...
Crackdown
Call by the
plus
Grave.
Call by the Grave. This could just be enough to end Onor's turn immediately.
Mm.
And since he didn't link summon, Onor was not able to resolve his Phantasme.
Yeah. Hey, sometimes it just works out, you know.
So in standby phase, I think Charles is going to take control of that Sunlight Wolf, so Onor cannot have access to Raw straight away.
But Foxy can summon itself to destroy the Crackdown, right?
I believe so.
Yeah,
Then he gets the Wolf back.
but the Call by the Grave will stop.
Yeah, so maybe
Ooh.
that's the line he's looking at here, but yeah, the Call by the Grave's the perfect out. And still having Pancratops on the field and
Well, it's
as
not
well.
looking too good
And
for
the Signet Mining for next turn.
Going to discard Foxy.
And it's going to get negated
Going to banish one that's trying to summon. Not that it mattered.
either way. So his hand is Effect Veiler. And 2 other cards. It's a tough choice here. Because I think Crackdown says that the
He just
monster's effects
pass
can't
it.
be activated and can't attack.
Oh, no.
Oh, now he's drawn Signet Mining that he has with the Jaguar that he just drew for turn. This could be game. He can relink that wolf. The
Yeah, yeah.
Ash.
Oh,
Maybe not.
maybe not. But he can summon the Jaguar back, right?
He can just summon
Oh,
this
he can just
Jaguar.
normal summon it. Link it away for Heatleo.
He can also
Or his
make
own
he
Sunlight
can,
Wolf.
he can also make a Balinx, get the field spell, relink that wolf
Mm,
to get his own wolf.
looks like he's going for it. Oh,
Oh, but then the Phantasma hits the field.
gonna draw 3 cards. And put back
That's
2.
huge.
Is it? He can put back. Is it put back 2, right?
Did he put back 2?
He put back 2 really far. Yeah, he was on 3
He
cards
had 3,
before.
yeah, so that worked out.
It's back to 3. Yep, that sounds correct.
Maybe
Oh,
he
no.
wasn't. Oh no, he ashed as well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
true,
so he
true.
was on 2.
It went
Yeah.
2 and back to 2. Yep.
So getting that Sanctuary.
So his Sanctuary's gonna come down. He's gonna turn that Heatleo back into another Heatleo.
Yes. And to force the Phantasma's effect.
Which effect? Oh wait, Heatleo. Sorry,
Yeah,
my
he's
bad.
going
Yeah,
to
that's
use Heatleo
Heatleo.
to try and drop it to 0 and force the Phantasma to try to stop it. And then he'll just save with Balinx. It's definitely Heatleo here. Oh, he has Jaguar actually. He can just make a wolf, then bring the Jaguar back, trigger its effect to get Foxy back.
There's a lot of plays. He's thinking which one he wants to utilize. He's got.
Or he's got
going
Heater for the Gazelle in his opponent's graveyard. That's even better.
targeting Gazelle. It goes uninterrupted. Effective Gazelle.
He
Activate.
does have Veiler, so that's an interesting choice.
Maybe he's just holding the Veiler for the Heatleo.
That's also possible. Or the Stelio.
Ooh, very. So. But then he can link away the Mirage Stelio. And then bounce the Phantasme. And then the Phantasme will be force negated, and then his Heatleo will just get Veiled.
So weighing up his options here, he probably can get Falco to reset something, but I don't think he has anything to set.
Because he chose to send Spinny with the Gazelle.
That's true.
Oh,
Actually, I think he should get Gazelle here because he hasn't accessed it yet. So then when he links off or and triggers his Jaguar effect on his Sunlight Wolf, he can get the Gazelle back in his hand instead.
Oh, but
But opts for Falco, and now he's just going to do some damage.
so that's going to be 800 plus 1850 plus 2000.
So 4650, that'll put him down to
A number.
2550 probably.
Yep.
Then main phase 2. So having Pancrotop still as well as this.
They're just working out the damage.
Yeah. So making sure everything's correct. Obviously, it is the finals of Oceanics.
Giving Gazelle back. You don't want to. I mean,
I think it doesn't matter at this point. Just make a Dweller and have Pancrotops. Gets Foxy back probably, unless he has Ash somewhere. Gets the Spinny back, sure, that works too. He's gonna make a Dweller here, and that'll probably be it. Pancrotops Dweller, and Onal's on 3100. Not a gold red Dweller, very disappointed.
I think Dweller missed out on ultimate rare printing.
I think Honor's also thinking that. How dare you use a non-gold red Dweller against me?
So yeah. And is this the end?
So he's trying to use the Fox effect, but then realize he can't.
Honor will draw for turn. He'll get met by a Dweller.
What does he have?
Honor does not have the Gamma, right?
Ooh. Did he side it in?
Maybe. But he was going first, so.
I'd still side it in going first. If they sign it, mash my sign it mighty, I get 2 monsters. He may have
Ooh,
drawn
he's
Super
looking at-
Poly, but he can't use it unless he puts a monster on the field first. This game may not be over.
Very, very well.
Super Poly has played a huge role in all
So-
of Onor's.
If the
Feature
3 cards
matches.
in your hand are a Salamangreat monster, super polymerization.
That's
But
pretty
the
good.
problem is there's still the Pancratops on the field.
But he's got Balinx engraved. Or does he not? He might have run out.
He does not have a Balinx in his graveyard. Maybe he could summon, make a Balinx first, and then super polymerization.
Yeah, at any point he tries to respond. Like if Pancratops tries to destroy the Balinx, he can then activate Super Poly.
He's thinking it out. He hasn't given. No, there's a Veiler in his hand, which is probably going to be what he discards.
Oh, he drew Gazelle. Or maybe he had Gazelle from last turn. Maybe
So
choose Super
maybe
Poly.
if Charles uses the Pankratops now, he's just going to Super Poly in response. Going to use its effect. You know, the card in his hand is Sanctuary, right?
In Charles' hand, yeah. So this game may not be over.
Ooh,
If
so
Onor can get as far into his play as possible and get to possibly a Heat Leo here, he could just win off the Chimera play.
but he can't use his graveyard. He can't access his
Yeah,
graveyard.
so it's really hard for him to get there from here.
He's just gonna go. Assuming the card in his hand is Super Polymerization.
Surely he just sends Mole.
I believe so.
The next turn, if he can clear the Dweller,
He's
he can
thinking
draw
about
2 cards.
Rage.
That's also a viable option. If he can get to Sunlight Wolf. But I think Mole's actually the best choice here.
Between Dweller and Pankratops, it's gonna be very hard to set up a board. I really want to know what the last card in his hand is.
It has to be Super Poly.
Yeah, he looked over
It
the
has to be.
vine.
What else could it be?
I think letting the bait. I don't know what he's saying. He sent a monster though.
There's Onor we're talking about here.
Mm.
The Super Poly Master.
Oh, it's a green card. I can see the tint
Definitely Super Poly.
going for Bailings. And Bailings will protect the Violet Chimera from
Yeah, he has
Pankratops.
to get to the graveyard first. You have to relink it.
Do you?
Oh no, you can just Super Poly with it. That's fine.
But you can just relink it anyway to get 2 Bailings in the graveyard.
Any bait. Oh, so we can get the Raw too. This has to be Super Poly.
Is it? Is it the card of the century?
Has to be.
Oh, I'm so excited.
It would be only fitting that it is Super Poly, like a 100%.
But Charles has a lot of cards in his graveyard. He's still able to play next
But
turn.
not if you can't get a Salamangreat on the field.
True.
Well, there it is.
Ooh,
It
there we go.
is Super Poly.
That's a Sanctuary. Sanctum.
So he's going to be able to get over the Dweller here.
You're going to declare an attack on the Pankratops to force it first.
If I was Charles, I'd let that happen. So then you have Dweller for next turn.
Or maybe he just attacks the Dweller. What are his options? I think he's going for the Dweller.
It's a fair option either way.
You know how much attack this Violet Chimera has? It's like
23 plus 1150, 3950. So 3950 over 17.
it's 1400. Right, I don't remember what
39
the first number was.
3950, so 2250 off him. He'll be on 5750.
Charles forced to use the Pankratops now, right? Otherwise, he just it doesn't matter, I guess, too much.
He literally has to draw a Salamangreat or he can't play anyway.
Oh, this went pretty crazy.
Super Poly's just changing the game. Once again, every time Onor's involved with a Super Poly, it just changes everything.
There's a very high chance to draw a Salamangreat monster, though. Any monster becomes a Salamangreat.
I bet he draws an Ash. Can't use that anyway, but it's more of a bluff, I feel, the way he played that out. So there it is. It's a sign at mining.
Oh
you're
no, why is
kidding.
he activating it?
Why not?
Oh, you can't activate Raw, right? Because do you need
Yeah,
a...
he needs a link.
Oh, okay,
It's
that's
totally
fine.
fine. This game is going back and forth over and over, and he just concedes. So congratulations to Charles Liu, our 2019 Oceanic
Oh,
champion.
Also, the Raw could not have been set because of Abyss Dweller, but
It's true, but that's almost irrelevant. It was more of just forcing it through.
So-
But well done to Charles Liu. Well done to Onor Geezer as well. Both players will be representing us at the 2019 World Championships in Berlin. Oh,
Yeah.
wow. What a match. What a tournament.
We will probably cut to the prize ceremony. It is getting late, and the venue is
Yeah, I think the venue's warned us that we have to be out of here pretty soon. So we'll probably go straight to the prize ceremony. Thank you all for watching. Hopefully we'll be able to see you again in January for
Yep.
YCS.
definitely. I'll see you soon.